Well, hello, Ertan. How's everything in Durban?
Perfect. Well,
How
I
do
mean,
you?
I say perfect, but I have got to get the sails repaired as I gave them away. I'm still waiting for my hydrovane part, which hasn't arrived yet. It was supposed to arrive yesterday. But what I also organize is that Olivia Wyatt from the GTR 26, she's coming to visit us this evening, and Mike has a spare one from his boat, so she's going to bring me one just in case.
Yeah,
I, I,
fantastic.
I'm I'm not sure it's going to fit or not, but she's going to bring it, and hopefully mine will arrive, before the weekend.
Yeah, say good
But
day for me. I haven't personally met her. We've got an internet relationship. The same with all the other entrants, but that's fun.
yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so
we'll call you when she's here.
yeah, cool. All right. So how do you feel? 21,000 miles later. What's in your head right now?
Well, it feels like 21 miles, to be honest with you, because it's all forgotten, all the past. So it's the only thing I am really concerned about is the next leg. Like I always say to you, I know it's very boring every time you asked me this before, but all I am really concentrating on is for us to do the next leg. Really, that's all I have in my mind right now. Looking at the weather, looking at this, and because nothing is guaranteed at the moment
Yeah, but
for
hang on.
us.
That's a
So
that's a. I totally understand. But now just take yourself just back a little bit when you're
yeah.
sitting kicking back in your hotel room now and just thinking about it. You must have some emotions or some feelings or some recognition within yourself about what you're doing. Can you quantify that?
Not really. I think what we are doing can be done by a 10-year-old. So I don't feel that.
Okay.
I think I can teach anyone within a day what to do and go around the world in a 580.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You don't have to be a superhero. You just got to want to
No.
do it. Yeah,
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 exactly.
exactly.
And
All right.
I'm not exaggerating here, and I know you agree with me on this.
Yeah, no, I couldn't say. I couldn't. Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, you've sent teenagers around the world on their own, non-stop. So
Yeah,
what we are doing makes it very easy in comparison.
yeah, exactly. Hey, what about your relationship with TREKKA now?
Well, TREKKA is for sure and is the best built boat in the fleet. She's the strongest boat in the fleet. She's the only boat who has had no problems as a boat with the rigging and so on and so forth. So I think she's a very special vessel. I think she's nothing like the other vessels.
Okay.
No. I mean, I am not saying this because it's TREKKA, but it is true. She really is a very strong vessel indeed. And when I look at other vessels and their rigging, they are half the size in many of the fittings.
Yeah. It's got the Sparcraft rig in there. So
Yeah.
anyway, and we took a bit of time to do all that. But anyway, that's good. And so physically, rather than emotionally, how do you feel? Like from the time you stepped into the boat, in Portugal, and got here, have you seen changes? Like, is it things moving? You feel healthy. But try to describe it.
Well, I mean, I feel exactly the same as I left the very first day. Only difference is that because we've been eating this not so appealing food, these days I think many of us tend to lose weight between the legs. But as soon as we get to a destination and we eat like a horse, morning, lunch, and dinner, and we put that on, I think that is. I mean, there is less like towards the freeze-dried food because we've had so much of it now.
Yeah. But I can remember when we did the bounty boat trip, I decided to bulk up and I was on a ship in Antarctica and I just went for it and it was good fun. So you must enjoy when you get to shore. Not only can you start eating good food, but you can eat as much as you want. That must be fun.
Yeah, I do. I mean, this morning I had a huge breakfast. I'll have a nice lunch, and last night when I got to the hotel, I was on a buffet. So I first get them to cook me a fish, and then I had some Indian, then I had some meat afterwards, and a dessert. So by the time I went upstairs to my room, all I was saying, "Please God, let me digest this. I will never do it again until tomorrow morning." So
Okay. So, all right, you're pretty down to earth and a matter of fact about the challenge of sailing the boat around the world. But the GGR is a mind game, and even though you're straightforward, you describe the mind game now of the 580 and the MGR to you?
Okay, I mean, I have full access to my family, and I love talking to Arzu, my wife, and sometimes I call her every 4 hours or so, and I know she's fed up with me calling so very frequently because she's busy and she's got a million things to do, and she's got to entertain me as well at times. And it is a very different thing. You can't compare GGR with AMGR. It's chalk and cheese.
Yeah. Okay, so how would
Because
you
with
feel if
the,
there was the Starlink was a drop in the last 6 months or a year when mini Starlink turned up and we all thought, holy dooly, you know, we can do this. If you had no Starlink and you're just using an Iridium Go for weather or something, would you still be doing it? Oh,
yes,
how
because
would you think of it?
you have WhatsApp, which you can communicate constantly, and Iridium Go Executive has got two telephone lines, and they are clearer than a landline. So talking to people you want to talk to is very easy. But obviously, it's much nicer to talk to somebody and you can see them at the same time.
Yeah. Fair
And
enough.
not only that, when you start using Iridium, you're paying 1,000 to 1,500 US dollars a month just for talking, whereas you can have full internet and talk as much as you want, half the money, around about 600 US a month, I think, on average, 700 US a month.
Yeah, that's
For
what you're
money.
paying for your open subscription.
Yes, between $600 to $800 a month,
Yeah, that's on the marine. That's on the marine ocean roaming full blown.
That's right. Every few days, I tend to get $100 added to my account all the time because it's on automatic. It comes out of Arzu's card, I think. So,
Yeah,
and so it's
I think
okay.
so. I'll ask the others, but I think they're on a slightly lesser heavy user budget. But anyway, that's
Well, I
cool.
mean, I can be in the office with everybody for several hours at a time, just talking about for lots of things, you know. So it isn't. It is wonderful to be connected and finding out and seeing what's happening every day for lots of things. And occasionally they might ask my opinion, and I'm there as well. So which is really great.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the toughest memory that you've seen? You know, like the toughest physically, mentally, sailing wise, call it what you like, since the start. You know, what's the one thing that's the standout?
I think only time that I think that goes for everybody. Only time we feel frustrated is when we're going backwards.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, the last storm that you warned us about, it really wasn't a storm at all, and it went away so quickly. We couldn't even call it a storm because it went in at 40 odd knots. Within a couple of hours, it was all over. In fact, within half an hour, we start sailing towards the right destination.
Yeah.
So, and I don't really remember any other hardships, to be honest with you. I think it's been, if there were any, I've forgotten about it.
Yeah. Okay. And what about the standout happiest moment? Like, as in excitement, emotion. Wow. You know, blah blah blah.
Well, it is always exciting to arrive to a new destination. I mean, when I arrived to Fiji, and it was so beautiful going through the lagoon and arriving to Fiji. I think that was very special, and I think it was very special arriving to Panama and Tonga, and I think arriving to these places are pretty special, and especially the Great Barrier Reef, because there was a lot of anticipation of our entrance into that, and that's a reasonably challenging navigation because there are so many dangers, and you have to stay in between those lines. And you are often doing instrument navigation because it's nighttime. And I guess when you get to the destination, you feel good about it that you've arrived without damaging yourself nor the boat.
Yeah. Okay. And has there ever been any moment, you know, where you thought you're going to give it away, or so what the hell am I doing here? You know, why am I doing this? I'd rather be sitting in the office, you know, doing medals or something. Or
that hasn't happened really. I mean, I have got anticipation now. I would like to get to Cape Town beginning of December, so I can go over and catch up with my mother for her operation, which is really that's all that I have in my mind at the moment. So the next couple of weeks will be very important for me personally.
Yeah, and emotionally, either for happy, sad, angered, indifferent. How many? You know, can you remember the last time you cried on board? You know, what it was about?
I don't remember it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember it. It's been really a very happy exercise since the beginning, to be honest with you. This being able to be connected on to the worldwide at all times. The moment you feel you want to talk to somebody, you can talk to your mother or your sister or your children or your wife or your friends. It removes the pressure right away.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because you
It's
don't
a
have to
game
think
changer.
about it anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas with the GGR, you are crying all the time because you can't talk to your wife or your children or your family and so on. So
Yeah.
that happens a lot with the GGR, and that really is the most difficult part of doing the GGR. And people who's never done it, they don't really know. They will learn in due course. You only learn these things when you haven't talked to your family for 6 weeks. Then you realize that it is not as easy as people make it out to be.
Yeah, but do you think that's an interesting experience? You learn something about yourself, like is it, like the GGR is ugly, yes, but that's part of the game. And do you think overall, like you've got to Cape Town from Le Sable d'Olonne, overall do you reflect that that was probably a good thing or was it a horrible thing?
No, it was a wonderful thing. I mean, I
There
made
you
a
go.
choice. It was a wonderful thing, and from the very first day, it is still in my mind to do another GGR. It hasn't just because I failed in something. I look at it as an education, not as a failure.
Well,
And
yeah,
like
well,
like like in any business, so you learn about things, and the next time you are more prepared. I mean, these things cannot be thought by from a book or someone else's experience. You can only you can only learn these things by experience.
yeah. Actually, I take you back on that one because you didn't. I remember very well when we were in Cape Town at the film drop, and all of a sudden you popped and said, "Bugger it, I'm retiring." I was happy for you. You didn't fail. You just got the answer. It was fantastic. It was a very interesting experience. I mean, there's a lot of backstory to that for people watching, but you certainly didn't fail. I mean, you achieved a lot. But anyway, we were off track. So, there must be something that you miss when you're on the TREKKA and in the MGR.
Well, of course, I miss the closeness of my wife, and you obviously want to cuddle up and go to sleep like that in the evenings, which obviously you can't do that when you're on your own.
Yeah,
And you missed it. You missed it a lot, and it's nice to be able to go and see your son and give him a hug and things like that. You do miss them. A physical contact you miss with your family for sure.
yeah,
And unfortunately, the kids have grown up, and me and ours it seems to cope with it okay. But obviously, it is a selfish thing. What I do is a selfish thing because she's working really, really hard to keep everything together.
yeah.
And I realize that, but there is a huge attraction to do what I am doing as well. And somebody has to do these things, and there is always a price to pay.
Absolutely. All right. Stop being modest. Do you think you're an inspiration? Because the whole idea of us doing all these events is to have you guys inspire people. Do you think you're an inspiration?
Well, I hope that the people who are interested in sailing know that whether you are in your early 20s or in your past 70, this is something you can do. This is a very important thing for all ages if they want to do that. And I think people see it as just because I'm 70, I cannot do this is no longer a question, because it's up to them whether they want to do an adventure like this, whether it's a GGR or an OGR, an MGR or whatever. It is in their grasp. The age is no longer a deterrent.
Absolutely. I'm only 30. I mean, I laugh when people talk about numbers and they say 70 and say, huh? So what? A 30, like it's just, I mean, anyway, well, I think we're all very lucky. We're healthy and think, but that's part of it. No one's trying to kill us at the moment, which is a big part of the world. Anyway, so how do you think you'll feel when you get to Antigua?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm sure I will feel wonderful, but really, I have learned in life not to make a plan so far ahead. So
Yeah.
East London is the next adventure for me, which is probably the next stop, or Richards Bay.
Okay.
So I don't really want to. I mean, if we get there all in one piece, every one of us, it'll be wonderful. But thinking about is almost anticlimax. We are still riding the wave, and let us ride the wave every day and see what happens in 3 months' time, or 4 months' time, or whatever.
Second to last question. You're about to step off into the Agulhas current and make for Cape Town. what's your impression? How are you feeling? It's pretty tough.
Well,
It's going to be tough.
I went to see the rescue center yesterday, and there was an experienced guy who's done this journey a few times, and that was very helpful. And the nice thing is that we might be able to do huge distances within 24 hours thanks to the current on the first half of the journey until we get out of the current. So it'll be very interesting. I mean, there is 52 rescue centers in 800 miles, Don.
I know, it's crazy, yeah.
So there is nowhere in the world where there is over 50 rescue centers in such a short distance.
Yeah.
And which means something. It is not something you can take a risk. We've got to get everything right and put our ducks in order when we do this next 800 miles.
Yeah. Did you get the impression what they thought of the 580 and you guys, when they were there, like now
Well,
they've seen
the average rescue person is not a sea person, really. They've just been trained, and it's a nice club for them. They have no idea about sailing. Most of them have no idea about boats. They really have no idea at all. They just know out and rescue people and do medevacs and things like that. Yeah, I mean, there was one guy there who actually sailed that area a few times, which was nice to hear. And also, we were able to get details about some of the harbors that we could go in case of an emergency. But he basically said, you must go to East London, and if you can make it to Richards Bay, fantastic. And it was nice to hear that. But other than that, they are not really people to talk to. They just go and rescue people, and they have no idea about boats, really.
Okay. I hope they see that. That's all fine. All right. Well, listen, that's great, Ertan. We've run out of time, so don't hang up, but stay there, and good luck, eh? I look forward to seeing you in Cape Town soon.